Hello, this is Paul the Oakenite coming back to you after having taken about a year off from YouTubing for a variety of reasons, among which I just got really busy. But I think at this point I can come back again, and as was said at the conclusion of the first Independence Day movie, hello, boys, I'm back! Then we blow up the alien craft. All right, what I want to do today is just a quickie video just to show you my war room. This is where all the good stuff happens, and I think as a way to restart my channel, I would like to go through just show you what I got. But before I do that, I just want to say thank you to all you guys who have stuck with me this last year. If anything, the channel continued to show some modest growth, even though I wasn't putting anything new out there. So to all of those who have stuck with me, plus those who have given really nice comments as far as the things that I had put out there in the past, I just want to thank all of you for doing that. All right, so let's take a look at the room. What you see here is it's about a 12 by 14 foot space for my 8 by 4 game table. And you see across the back of the room is some really nice shelves, which I think a lot of guys would kill for based on what I see in their war rooms. The house came with these. I didn't have to do anything. I've been in this house about 5 years, and the prior owner, the lady of the house, used these to store her Beanie Babies in. Yeah, lots of Beanie Babies. But I have the lion's share of these for storing my games, my collection, I guess. Although I consider myself more of a game player than a game collector, which is why for the first time ever, I'm actually starting to get rid of some games because, if I've had a game for 40 years and never played it, it's a candidate for getting rid of, I think. So I'm doing some of that as well. I have chosen to decorate the room with shadow boxes showing various military decorations from various sources, basically most of which I got on eBay. Although some of those, and I'll start with this, the first one is a Soviet-themed shadow box that you guys actually saw in my Drive on Gießen intro when I put that out there. And the interesting thing about this one is that the three decorations on the left-hand side were actually awarded to my dearly departed mother-in-law. In the Soviet system, there are equivalent honors for civilians as well as military. So each medal has a civilian version and a military version. So these are civilian versions of what could be awarded under the Soviet system. And again, the ones on the left-hand side were the real deal for my dearly departed mother-in-law. In honor of my great uncle who served in the Persian Gulf Command in World War II, which was based in Iran. So yes, there were American troops in Iran in World War II, believe it or not. They did have the Tehran conference there. He was actually somehow involved with that. My display shows the chevron for Master Sergeant, which actually my great uncle sent correspondence to my mom. And, he was a Master Sergeant at the time. But when he got back to the States, he ended up being a Sergeant Major, so, good for him. But I wanted to show it as, based on the stationery that he had sent over to my family to correspond. The shoulder patch you see is for the Persian Gulf Command. That is a replica, but I do have an original from him. The ribbon rack, I actually put out for that. There are places you can actually pay to have the ribbon racks built the way they should be with the proper precedence of the decoration, the most prestigious being in the upper left, and it goes across and then down, so the lowest precedent is the lower right, which in this case it has a more modern decoration actually awarded to our troops who served in Saudi Arabia in the original Gulf War. I think it's a gorgeous thing, so I just had to have that, and it goes with the shoulder patch so well. But it's got a lot of cool things on it. It's got a World War II victory medal. That's the second up from the bottom on the right-hand side. Below it is a Korean War service medal, the blue one. Opposite that, I really like it. It is a service medal awarded to troops who served in the occupation force in Germany or Japan. And so depending on where you serve, this particular one is set up for Germany. And because of what happened in Germany, there's a little airplane down there. And what that is, that little clasp on there, it looks like a B-17. What that is that if you were there during the Berlin airlift, you got that added to your occupation medal. So I think that's a particularly cool one. And the final one is for a fictitious character that, say, was served in World War II up through the Vietnam War with various decorations that could be appropriate for him. And One of the things that I put this up here is that these medals are beautiful. They're a very gorgeous thing, and a lot of them, people don't get to see. So I'm pleased and proud to have them up on my wall so that people who come and visit me or just myself can enjoy just seeing them. They're gorgeous, some of these. So it makes for a nice decoration for the war room. Now, as far as the war room itself, there have been some improvements, particularly right now. Went ahead with a lighting project for the basement, and so I got rid of all of the old fluorescent bulbs in the basement and had LED lighting put in. And over the table, I have tripled the amount of lighting. I used to have lights off on the side to shine on the table to be able to have at least nice uniform lighting across the table, and no more. I have real lights in the ceiling, and they are fantastic. LED lights, if you're going to do a project in your basement, LED lighting is a good place to start, guys. Among other things, these are sealed units, so there's no bugs. I always see all the outline of the bugs on the plastic that's covering the fluorescent bulb, the diffusion screen. No more. So everything's nice and clean, beautiful lighting, and I have them on dimmers, which is a nice thing as well. So, and the second thing that I haven't done yet, but it's in the project queue, is going ahead and upgrading my table. This table is nice, however, it has a few drawbacks. It was actually a conference room table in my old office for when I was using that. But after I bought my home, I went ahead and moved it here and got out of my office. I moved to a different state, and here it is. Now, it's a nice solid table, but it's a few different drawbacks that it has. One is that it's got these sweeping curved corners, which actually chops off some useful space. One thing I've noticed that games are continue to get bigger, and part of that is the trend towards bigger hexes, bigger counters. For us old guys who have to squint real hard with these half-inch counters, looking at 6 microscopic different number ratings on there and silhouettes and unit IDs and all that kind of stuff, all in a half-inch square counter. It's a bit of a stretch for us. So they make the counters bigger, they make the hexes bigger, and now I'm thinking that I need to make my table bigger. But I don't want to replace the table because this thing is solid like a rock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn myself into the Oaken Knight once again and go ahead and build a table topper for this. I want it to be bi-level. I want it to have removable top so I can have down in a lower well, have something going on there, as well as being able to put the tops back on and have something in addition going in the top level. And that has to do with kind of how I use the table. So for example, if I want to shoot a video, that means I have to tear down what's on my table. Okay. Well, sometimes I'm involved and I don't want to do that. I'm primarily a game player, not a game collector, and not a YouTube personality. I like to play the games. And it's kind of annoying having to tear them down whenever I wanted to shoot a video. So if I have 2 levels, I can go ahead and work around that. Or if I have a friend over, having 2 levels is going to allow me to continue doing what I'm doing on the lower level of the table and set up something for the day on the upper end of the table. So for me, there are some needs to go ahead and do something like that, and I think I'm going to give it a shot. And as far as the channel goes, I think I will, at least at a high level, let you follow along. I'm certainly no Norm Abram. I'm not an advanced woodworker, but I think I am somewhere in the intermediate ranks, and maybe you guys would enjoy seeing that, and hopefully if you decide to do it, I could help you avoid what mistakes that I make in constructing the table. And finally, as far as the kinds of things I want to be putting up on the channel, I think I want to try to make my videos crisper than they were. Some of them were kind of on the longish side, and I think I want to try to shorten them up for your sake as well as mine. And being able to put more of a variety of things out there, but shorter content, so it turns into a full weekend project like some of them seem to do, or these multi-episodic ones that I did would take a couple months maybe. So that's what I intend to do. I might have some tangential things like the game table, put something out there on that as I build it, and possibly some discussion about various things. I think having a war stories segment might be fun. Just I've been doing this over 50 years, and so I've had some particularly fun things happen. I should have enough to keep that kind of thing going for a while, as far as fun things that have happened during the 50 years playing the games. So anyway, that's what I'm thinking of doing. We'll see what I end up doing. And of course, I will start up the review process and give you my commentary on what I see as far as the games, their quality, their pluses, their minuses, and all of that good stuff. So I think you can look forward to some content coming from me in the near future. And until then, I just want to say thank you for sticking with me and have yourselves a pleasant evening. So this is Paul, the Oaken Knight. If you care to, hit the subscribe button. It all helps. It's all good. And we go from here. Take care. Bye-bye.